Is on. So, hi, Donatus. I am Marvin from Labs. So, I wanted to have a way to communicate with everybody about most of the product that we are doing. Literally, most people have not gotten the more of the perspective of why most of these founders are building this product that they build. And so, I thought about myself that most people might not be able to ask these critical questions, but myself also as a founder, I said probably I could actually this product that we are talking about, we could actually discuss with them and ask them more critical questions that will allow people who will learn from from these videos to be able to write better. So I am Marvin. I am a developer and researcher, and I'm building stable of fun. So we'd like to get to know you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, hi Marvin. Thank you for having me on this call.
You're welcome.
My name is Anand Prince. I am the chief errand boy at Verxio Protocol,
Okay.
and basically that's just it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So hopefully we should get to the questions. So the questions we're going to be asking is going to be more about the Nigerian market, why you decided to use the Nigerian market, and also some of the core things that you guys do and how you guys make it all work. So yeah, the first question we'll be asking is what specific Nigerian user behavior or pain point that led you to build Vexio? And you could describe for us the typical user behavior, like how their daily money habit in terms of loyalty and stuff. So yeah.
So, first of all, I think one of the misconceptions we have about Verxio is I'm going to break it down. First of all, one of the misconceptions is that Verxio is not really a Nigerian product, right? Is not to be sarcastic or anything, but I'm not really building Verxio for the Nigerian market, right? Because the problem I'm trying to solve with Verxio is a universal problem. It's not tied to a geographical location.
More like a global
Yeah,
one, right? Yeah, I get. I don't think any product is anybody is actually trying to solve what you guys are solving. Yeah.
yeah. So so let's say what we're trying to do is loyalty. We're trying to fix loyalty at the core, then we move from there. Yeah, because whether you are in Singapore, whether you are in Nigeria, whether you are in UAE, wherever you are, loyalty has a representation. Every human being wants to be rewarded for their efforts.
That's true. That's true. I agree with
Loyalty
you.
is a form of how you show some sort of a reward. For example, when I was in Singapore, I was a tourist, so everything you buy, you have to pay tax, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's something very important. You can get a tax credit and you get refunded all the taxes you've paid while you're leaving Singapore. They are trying to incentivize you to come back.
Hmm. That's more like a loyalty for the more you buy, you shop on Singapore. Then yeah. I get you.
So that's one. The second one is when you get to the airport, right? There's something they call the duty free.
Okay.
So when you get to the airport, there's something they call the duty free. So the whole essence of the duty free is that you don't pay taxes on whatever you're buying. So you have to buy more because you don't pay taxes,
Okay.
right? So that's why when you get to duty free, you see people buying things. So when people are in a country, they don't buy things, but when they get to the airport on duty free, they start buying because they're not paying taxes, they're not paying extra. So that's another loyalty. Now it happens across all airports across the world.
So
And that's to tell you that loyalty is a universal problem because every business, every brand wants you to keep coming back. So that's what we build, right?
yeah.
Now bringing it back to our own geographical location. Even in Nigeria, when you buy things like a Rhyme or even your MTN, when you recharge, MTN give you this point that you can redeem when you're trying to. They will say, "Do you want to get for your point balance or something?" They
Yeah,
are trying to also.
I know about that. I know about that. Yeah. I used to use it.
So So these are loyalty expressions, right? So now the thing is that the loyalty expressions, everybody have to build their own. MTN have to build their infrastructure. Um, the dirty people have to build their infrastructure, how the way they track it. So everybody have to build their own. The same thing happens on chain. Everybody builds their own. But what we built at Verxio at the first fundamental level is say, let us build an infrastructure, a loyalty layer,
Huh?
where that fits the descriptions of every loyalty program, then give it to every business so they can just plug and play into their system. So you don't have to spend months trying to build out your own infrastructure, trying to organize things, trying to you get so we're handling that for you. Just plug and play our infrastructure into your business for free. Get it set up and start using it.
Sure.
So that was the first thing we did. Yeah, so that was why we're able to get some of this project. If you notice that some of the projects that are we're using Verxio, they are mainly protocols, they are mainly projects. So there's no consumer like a consumer user. So users get to experience Verxio through the projects that are using us. For example, Airbus Pay. People experience loyalty in Airbus Pay through the infrastructure that we power. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
So we started at the foundation. Then we now said, which is where we are heading to, which is something I've not made public yet.
Yeah.
We're now trying to build. Let's now build consumer-facing applications where the consumer input they can now experience loyalty. Like what we built was for technical people. You have to integrate it into your existing product. But what if we build a no-code form?
Yeah, like when somebody can just actually just create a loyalty for his customers actually. That
Yes, and you know one thing with creating loyalty for your customers, the lowest hanging fruit is payment,
uh-huh. Sure.
which is why we are starting with a native loyalty powered payment checkout. So we're trying to create a checkout experience.
So more like as you people are checking out, you're providing them credits or
Everything,
cashback.
everything is everything is automated. So think of it as a fixed merchant, where every merchant, which are businesses, they have an account.
Okay.
It can be naira, it can be in dollar, it can be Chinese rand, it can be Singapore dollar, whatever your real, whatever your currency is.
Okay.
You collect stablecoin payment. Once you collect stablecoin payment, you're giving your customers points. Whatever your transaction, their loyalty, they are coming, but everything is automated and we're handled for you. That is now what we're trying to work on moving forward.
That's cool. That's cool. So awesome, awesome, awesome take, awesome take. I really love that. So next question we would love to ask would be how did you validate this problem that how did you
Okay.
validate that this problem was worth solving rather? And what assume okay, you already mentioned that. You already mentioned the assumption part about things that people think about Nigerian users. So how did you validate this problem was worth solving? And what assumption about the Nigerian users did you have to unlearn? So more like how did you validate this idea in Nigeria and globally? And what assumption of the Nigerian market probably that you probably want to start from that you had to unlearn during the process of validating this idea?
Uh, so how we validated the idea was that loyalty programs already exist, right? It
Exactly.
was already right. We just had to make it better, right?
Mm.
And we saw businesses that wanted to use loyalty program, but they couldn't because they can't afford to set up their own structures, and they said they had to do some manual stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I think also the quickest we were able to validate our ideas with I have a lot of builder friends. So when we built the very first version of Verxio, I took it to them. Test out this infrastructure. and we were basically building in the open. People were testing, people were giving us raw feedback, and the feedback was actually what we went back and improved on. So I didn't build it out from my head.
Okay.
So the Verxio we have now, in actual sense, if I'm being honest with you, it's not really the Verxio I started with in my head.
So more like the version you've iterated more towards the design thinking type of point of view where you get more feedback from people and cut it to iterate.
So we changed some of the features we have in Verxio. I basically feature suggestions from people that are using it. So I had calls with a lot of these developers, what their users are experiencing. So that is how we're able to build a product that is designed for the market, not designed for me.
Hmm. That's a very, very solid point. A product that is meant for the consumer market rather than a product that you have in your own head. That's a validated point. Yeah. Agree.
I think also that's the problem that many founders do. We fall in love with our ideas and we build what is in our imagination, not actually what the market needs.
Yeah, I think basically because most of them fall in love with their brain side, literally, and they refuse to iterate. One of the
That's
things,
the problem.
one of
I think you won't blame them because the time they probably figured out that they need to iterate, it might have already been late. For example, it's difficult to move from an idea to another one in 9 months or 6 months. Or it's easier if it's just maybe a month or 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
yeah. I think the reason is because, like I used to say, is because most people that build, they don't actually plan from the beginning. They just dive head in. So the way we normally used to do it at our team is that before we build, we go on to do some research about the problem that we're trying to solve. And then when we realize what this whole problem is all about, at times it might not look as if we know what we are doing, but we ask deep questions, not we ourselves, but among the people that we think that can use this product. And when we get the validated solution, we try to work with these people constantly to iterate to make sure that what we are offering is not going to be a single service, but a string of services or features that actually meet their need, right? That's the point. But most people tend to want to just solve it because they feel like, oh, this is a magnificent idea. But at times, the magnificent idea might not necessarily be what the market actually wants. So, exactly.
So I think that's one perspective, and which makes a whole lot of sense. Then here's another perspective
Okay.
is um market research is lovely, it's wonderful, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes just build out the version in your head and give it and put it in the hand of your users. They will tell you how they want to use your product.
Hmm. I think that's another valid point too. Yeah, that's
Because the thing is when you build something and you put it in the hand of your users, you don't tell them how to use it,
they tell you how to use it actually.
how they want to use it.
Yeah,
So the problem becomes when you're trying to tell them how to use it,
and they don't want to use it that way. That's
they
yeah.
don't use it.
Yeah. I agree, 100%. You're right. You're
So
right.
if we that was basically how we started. Truth be told, Vexor didn't start out as a loyalty. It
Mm.
was a loyalty, but we didn't call it a loyalty. We didn't know it could be framed as a loyalty.
So what happened?
We basically wanted to build a way to we basically wanted to build like a crossword where you can do your on-chain tracking, inventory tracking,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can do inventory tracking with the protocol. So when we got the first version out and people started using it, and they were like, this is actually a loyalty. If you look at it, because if I'm tracking this inventory and I'm automating this thing and I'm giving this particular reward based on this thing, it's actually loyalty.
That's true. That's actually a form of loyalty actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
loyalty. So if I'm tracking my game points and I'm using it to unlock new levels for my players, and they're unlocking assets, they're unlocking tools, equipment based on their level. That's a form of loyalty.
Okay. Yeah,
So
so
when we got it, fine, they see it as a loyalty infrastructure without suddenly reshaping it.
yeah. So first of all, you first of all have to build whatever is in your brain, and then when you push it out to the users now start to tell you how this thing resonates with them. Then when from one feedback after another feedback, you actually now find out, okay, this is the best way to build this stuff because this is actually what the market wants. And then so
Yeah.
you move from whatever you guys were doing to loyalty, which is actually a very, very fun idea. I think I think we are getting the point now. Getting to the point now. We are getting it, more of understanding how you guys are building this product out. It's really an awesome take. So the next question I will be asking will be, we know that you are trying to build a traditional company that does not only satisfy Web3 companies, but also going to satisfy Web2 companies and Web2 merchants, Web2 products. So we wanted to know, how did you abstract this whole blockchain rigmarole out of it, and then how do you make it to resonate in a way whereby it can actually attract people that do not care about decentralization? So how did you change the whole protocol to more of like a tool that will service the Web2 ecosystem? That's the question. How did you do that? So yeah.
So I'm a developer, but I think I have a marketing background, right?
Okay,
So
that's true. That's
I
true.
I, I try as much as possible to talk in very layman understanding of how things work, right? So there's no disparity between Web 2 and Web 3 products. You say Web 2 products, Web 3 products, there's really nothing, they're basically the same thing.
That's because you're saying that now, but not what most people do. Most people take it all up and stuff like
That's the
that.
problem. So most people try to do that so they sound smart, right? Yeah, we are doing Web 3, we are doing Web 2, so they sound inferior, but they're basically the same thing. The only difference between the both world are how you connect to it.
Yeah, I think one is you can't own stuff. The other, you can own stuff. That's the only difference between the two.
That's basically how you connect to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we are saying we want to onboard the next 1 billion users, we have to make it stupid simple that everybody can understand what is happening. They don't really understand. They don't need to understand the tech.
Just have to use it like a tool, like we use every other regular application.
Exactly, which is why this embedded type of wallets are becoming rampant. They're trying to, you can just log in with your email address. This is what you're already used to, right? So at the very core, is Verxio is a loyalty infrastructure, an on-chain loyalty infrastructure,
Okay.
right? But the users that are trying to use it, they have no clue what it means. So that is why when I'm telling the story of Verxio, when I'm trying to write, actually all the write-ups you see on Twitter about Verxio, I basically come up with all of them.
Okay.
So when I try to write, you don't. It seems to you something you can relate with, right? So, for example, when I'm trying to explain to you loyalty in the beginning, I didn't have to mention on-chain NFT. Those
Yeah.
things happen under the
Yeah. So
your users. They don't care about whether you're using on NFT. They don't understand those things, and it's not their job to understand. It's also your job to make them understand. It's your job to make them see the usefulness of what you're trying to build for them.
not the technical jargon stuff. Yeah.
I think that's the problem we developers make. We try to pass across the technical jargons to people. They don't understand it. It's not in their place to understand it.
That
Their place to understand, if I do this, I'm getting rewarded, and if I keep going back to buy from this person, I keep getting rewarded. My points will be accumulating. That's all they need to understand.
that's true. I think I was writing something about these Web3 marketplaces for Southeast Asian countries. So I was hearing a lot. I've seen a lot of people write about tokens, that tokens will be traded tokens will be traded, give people tokens and blah blah blah. So me, I realized that these users don't really care about this token drama type shit that most people are actually going to be offering. I'm like, the best form of way you could actually solve the problem for them is to use more of like a Metaplace core at the bottom. It's very cheap to deploy. I think you guys use that too. So, and then you could be able to like give them loyalty points that will be in the NFT. So each user can now be able to own their own loyalty points, and then you can now issue out cashbacks for that to them. And I felt like yeah, and in this way the users don't really actually need to know. Embedded wallets like Privy can actually allow you to do this swiftly. So I think we as Web2 people, Web3 people, we tend to want to be using too many complex jargons to try
Because
to
it's the same thing. Your normal gift card, for example, the Apple gift card,
yeah,
they don't tell you that Apple is using Firebase infrastructure on the back end to structure your points.
exactly.
They just,
They don't.
they just give that.
Exactly. So that's the point. In Web2, they don't talk about the technology. They talk about how the product helps your daily life. But in Web3, I think we've gone too personal.
We try to sound smart.
Okay, so I feel probably that's one of the problem. But then
That's
I
the
would
problem.
say
So
maybe
because
maybe
because it's tech. Okay, go on.
I would say maybe it's because the people that have founded the industry are more of a technology or developer centric community. So they dwell on they hit on the jargons too much. But I think the ecosystem is changing and we are beginning to align with the ideology that Web3, most of the jargons are not important to actually get a selling product if we actually want to onboard the next 1 billion users, actually. So, yeah.
I think you basically nailed it. That's basically how it works, right? We must get rid of the jargon, the name calling, and everything. Just focus on solving real problem, right? Real
Exactly.
problem, real need. Every other thing will come.
Yeah. So, now the next question will be okay, I think you've obviously nailed that. I want to ask about Web3 jargons and how you deliberately remove that from the interface and all this stuff like that. But we've already discussed that in our conversation now. So I actually move to the next question, which is question 5. What did you prioritize? Why did you prioritize a withdrawal first approach? How does this reflect Nigerian users' psychology around money and trust? So according to what most people were asking in the bounty that most Nigerian developers focused on a withdrawal first approach, which means the Nigerian community users can actually withdraw their money, cash out their points, and stuff like that. So me, I'm asking, how did you prioritize this approach, and how does this reflect your understanding of the Nigerian psychology around money and trust? How does this reflect in your product?
Again, I would say
Yeah, yeah, I know you want to say it. You want to say it. I just say it. Just say it. Just say it. Just say it. Just go ahead.
I'm not talking just about the Nigerian market.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's validated. So I probably think this.
Don't get me wrong. That's one, right?
Okay.
Another thing you have to understand is the people, my first initial partners, they are basically building Nigerian products.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and which means their customers are my customers because you get
Yeah.
one thing you have to, and I have a lot of calls with them. What you have to understand with Nigeria is a low trust environment.
Okay.
Yeah. So nobody trusts you because probably because of everything, and Nigerians are attached to their money.
Very, very, very attached. That's a very big truth. They are very, very attached
They're attached to their money because every dollar they put in is like a gamble,
to them. Yeah, that's true.
right? So Nigerians is also when you're building for Nigeria, you have to understand one, this is a low trust environment, right? Number two, um, it's not just a low trust environment. These people coming into this thing, they have this kind of ideology about how things should work. That's why even if there is maybe a minor glitch, they start panicking.
Yeah, anything that have to do with their money, anything, it's really, I think it's really frustrating for most founders because the moment you fuck up on anything like that, eh, you have lost your customers because
Yeah,
I talk am, I know that they go fuck up.
they are scam, and they are quick to cause scam. They are scam.
No,
I think another thing you have to understand also, Nigerians are also emotional people, which means so if they're emotional, it means that it's a two-sided stuff. You can go against and for you.
okay,
If you're building let's say I'm building a payment store, right?
okay,
And probably I'm trying to target Nigerian merchants. If you're being open,
okay,
if you're being open when you're dealing with Nigeria and you build that trust. Nigerians that have no trust issues, when they trust you, they can still go all out for you.
that's true. I think I saw that with when we were building. I was working with Chatter Wallet, Chatter, but I'm no longer working with them anymore. So when I was working with Chatter Wallet, I think a lot of people, I was surprised on how the love was coming towards the product. I think it was basically because when we set out to build it, we decided to want to build it with them and get their feedbacks and try to make them as much included as possible. And so in that way, we got a community base that actually trusts the product a lot. So yeah, exactly. I think you are right.
So that's basically when you're building and you're communicating in the language they understand. You don't make them look dumb or stupid. I
Exactly.
think there will always be bad eggs, we understand,
Yeah.
but if the core community is being backed by you, and I think you already made a kill, right? So because like we say, we are moving into a more consumer interfacing product. So this is basically like my thought process because moving forward, right?
Okay.
So once you understand the market, so you basically understand how Nigerians operate, and if you build, because people approach me, people that want to do business with me because probably you're a person of interest, they trust you.
Exactly. They have to like first of all see you as a person that is being that can be trusted for they actually want to
You
do
know,
business with you. Yeah.
trust you. Once they trust you and they trust the face behind the brand, I think they will go all out.
Not so what you're trying to say is that in Nigeria they love more of when they know the person that is being the product than when the person is anonymous, like we have in Web 3.
It's probably because of the way the country is structured.
Okay. I agree. But it's okay, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So Nigerians are a group of people that have been lied to,
A
that
lot.
have been used.
A lot. And they actually still bounce from that too. That's true.
So when they see someone that is open and transparent, I can work with this.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things that
Yeah.
they easily discover is when somebody is very, very open and transparent.
Once you're open with them, they go with you. They will
Exactly.
choose you over,
But if
and
you
they are loyal.
yeah, exactly. You could notice this characteristics be when you relate to the kind of products they use or they consume. So you can see a Nigerian user can consistently subscribe to Spotify to listen to Spotify because they trust Spotify. They love the quality of music that they give. And those guys are literally transparent with them. The same Nigerian users can actually be able to subscribe to Twitter every month. But how do you realize this? I understand is that they've grown to trust those platforms more than every other platform. So because these people are transparent with them, they actually resonate with that trust system. That is the one of the core thing that Nigerians look for that they don't have in most products in Nigeria actually. So very,
I
very,
think
very valuable
I think
insight you've given.
I, I think another thing you have to add to what you just mentioned
Okay.
is Nigerians want when they pay for something, let them get the value for their payment.
Exactly. On another good point. This
Because the
this
platforms you mentioned, the reason why they pay is because if I pay for Netflix, I'm fucking going to get 30 days of content.
exactly like I can get all my favorite movies. Like me, like my family, we subscribe for Spotify every month for the whole family, right? So me and my brothers and my sisters are listening to music. So what happens is that every month I can be able to download and stream any music that I want. And I can't do that by going online. I've been downloading. Do you know the way you used to download music that year now? Oh, online, Nigeria loaded this one, that one. But with Spotify, all that stress is abstracted away, right? So yeah, I think that is the truth. They want to have value for the money that they put in. So thank you. So the next one I want to ask is that how do your users actually discover and start using your product? Like how does the typical user journey looks like from from
We which
first
got
touch to regular usage? So how will I use it? How will I explain it? So how do you get to meet your users? Like how do your users get to know about you? How do you get to meet them? And how do they get acquainted with your product? And actually, how do they continue to use it? I know that most, especially your product, is actually is more of an integration. Let's call it a widget that most other platforms will connect with. For now, you guys have not launched your checkout stuff, so so now how does that come in? How do you get to your customers, right? And how do your customers get in to use your product, and how do they continue using it? So I think your most of your customers now are founders, so probably you talk
so,
about them.
so the thing is that so for now, Vexio Vexio is an infrastructure product.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you understand?
Yeah,
So our customers, our direct customers are basically developers.
yeah. So yeah, that's what we're talking
Our
about.
partners, right?
Okay.
So they are basically the ones we currently targeted, and we successfully targeted those particular people,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because if you go through my series of posts in the past few months, I was speaking a definite language. I know the people I was talking to,
Communicating to
right?
founders, yes, exactly.
So I communicate in what they understand, and they truly understand, because we have projects that are building that will ping us and be like, okay, can we have a call so you tell me about what you're building, about Verxio, and how we can put it into place. And I get on a call with these people and I'm like, okay, this is what you're doing, this is what we're building on Vexio. So while I'm trying to explain to them the Vexio, they'll be like, I've seen where I can use it in my product.
Awesome. So it is a very easy way for you, since it's a infrastructure that you connect to developers and people that are building products already. It's very easy for you to plug it in because it's all about loyalty, right? And then it's easy for them to discover when you communicate with them. So most of the times it's through onboarding calls, or let's call cold calling, hard cold calling you guys normally use. That's the process.
So I think the problem is, I think our structure is when we put out content, which we use as a lead magnet, we attract the people we want to talk to.
So
They will have an
content,
onboarding.
content, then attraction, further onboarding through calling, then
So,
integration
so
setup.
no, the call is just for me to understand the founder
Okay.
and what he's building.
Mhm.
Basically establish rapport,
Okay.
which the call is not necessary, but that's like we're making it personal. So I know you know me.
A
Yeah,
more coordinated customer relationship. I think that's what it is.
yeah.
Okay.
So basically, So we discuss about what they're going to do. Then I send them the documentation, and they go through it and they read it, right? So now there's a caveat. This particular thing I'm doing, it doesn't scale.
Okay.
The rule of business, again, you do the things that don't scale. Every business, if you're starting out at the early stages, you do things that don't scale.
So that's
For
hard.
example,
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Stripe, when they started, when you create an account to collect payment, they come to your house and automate and set it and actually set it up.
Yeah.
So, that don't scale, but at the beginning, that is how you establish your true levers. Then you start growing from there. So that what's actually helped them to go as far as it went.
So that be the cause to know the founders is what are doing now to actually get your true believers. But in the future, when Verxio is more established, this is not going to be a process. You're going to create a more automated process to onboard more people in, right?
Exactly. What I just mentioned to you, we're not even doing it again. I'm no longer doing it.
Big man,
right? That was how we started. So I put out a post for people interested, probably in me, or probably people want to, okay, this is what I'm doing. Sometimes I even host like you want to work, if you're doing anything, like let's talk. Okay. So in the process of me talking to founders, builders, understanding what they are building, helping them on their go-to-market strategies, helping them to maybe structure their brand story and everything. That has nothing to do with what I'm building, right? And somewhere along the line, okay, this is what we're building. You can actually use it. It can handle X, Y, Z for you. So you don't have to spend X, Y, Z time.
So you get to give them certain services, but the aim is for you to be able to pitch your product and push the integration. That's
the goal is for you to use my product, but I'm willing to help you.
that's a slick move. That's a very, very slick move. I think this
Right?
is something worth noting. Guys, it's very, very important that you know this from Donatus. Yeah, I think, yeah.
I think that's basically. So if you notice, around 2 months ago, I was every day I was literally having a lot of calls. I was talking to founders, right? I was either helping them with this, either helping them with this. Do you understand? I was having a calls, and if I'm having calls with them, I'm talking about their journey. I'm okay. Do this like this. Okay, this is how you do it. Okay, read this one like this. And somewhere along the line, you can do this with my product. This is what we are building, right? It's all. What do they call it? It's a quick sell. Yes, I'm not forcing you. You're not paying me anything to use a product. It's actually started as an open source,
Yeah.
right? So I only make money when you run transactions on it. You're not paying me any monthly fee. I'm not begging you for it. So easy. If you don't want to use it, that is fine.
So
I'm already my Metaplex, so it's fine. I don't need you to.
hold on, this is an interview. It's an interview, man. Relax. Don't say stuff like that. So we don't.
No, that's the truth. I'm already settled to build for this.
Okay, so yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
So so my point is I'm already settled to build for this. Do you understand?
Okay.
So this I've helped you do this, do this, do this. You can actually do this with my products.
Or you can find your own way to do it. The aim is either help and also to introduce. Yeah, I think I get you.
Yeah. I even have a call with some people and they'll be like, why will I use Verxio? Why can't I just go to directly? I said, it's fine, you can do it your way.
But this will be better.
It's do you understand? So you can faffle for 3 days trying to figure it out, or you can basically use a solution that has been plug and play for you and get done in 10 minutes.
Exactly.
So it's up. So why I'm saying this is because for probably people that are going to be listening to this, the founders that are building, you'll meet people that why will I use it? I can just go and use it. I say it's okay. Everybody is not your customer.
Exactly.
Let's be sincere. So I'll politely tell you it's okay. It's not a must. You must use this. You can simply use, and I recommend you can simply go to the documentation of Metaplex. This is the Metaplex code. You can plug it and use it.
But that will be much more stressful process than when you actually use something that was tailored towards loyalty. Yeah.
There are some things you don't advise people; they will see it by themselves.
Practical. There are some things you do not advise people actually.
You understand? I've seen this firsthand. So there are some things because when you try to advise people, it's like you over. So when you oversell a product, the product actually loses the problem. The solution is bringing to a problem.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it look as if the product doesn't have value. That's why you are making it too.
So
Yeah.
so the rule of sales is I'm doing you a favor by introducing you to a faster solution to your problem.
That's true.
It's a favor.
I agree. I agree.
So that's like my thoughts. My thoughts
Process.
when I have this conversation. This is my thought process, and also it will now force you to build something that people need. Like I told you, we've had several varieties of Verxio, right? And everyone that failed, once I got the feedback that this is not working, I don't sugarcoat it. I move on from it instantly.
So you keep iterating. So that's where I think you have been using design thinking here. You keep
You understand?
iterating till you get the model that is better. I agree.
Basically, it's so once we landed on this version and we saw that okay, there's a real need here. Okay, we're solving something. I said okay, let's keep building it out.
Okay.
I was building from there.
Okay. So my next question is going to be, how do you handle the technical complexity of Solana while keeping a simple user experience for your developers actually? What happens behind the scenes that your developers don't actually know? So what is the core stuff that happens behind the Verxio that the developers are integrating to it? Not know those things that you abstract for them that they are thinking that they can, if they, like the people you said now that can be stubborn. What are those things you've abstracted for them? Those things that we do in the behind that makes their life easier actually.
I think we have started a lot of things. For example, the meta. For example, let me use the MetaPlex code. For example,
Okay.
it's a plain NFT standard, right?
Okay.
But for you to make it work, you have to start adding some plugins and some dependencies. Do you understand? So
Exactly.
what we've abstracted for you, and this is what the only thing I'm going to say is we've been able to pull together what you need to achieve a particular result, right? So if this is what you because it's a standard, it's a protocol standard. So it means that if you want to do, for example, this, you need this, not everything.
Yeah.
If you want to do this, you need the other one, the other one, the other one. So if you want to create a loyalty standard
Hmm.
for your app, you need X, Y, Z. So that X, Y, Z you need is what we've put together and automated it for you.
So it means that you've taken the standard, the MetaPlex core standard,
So we
applied
so we took the standard and extracted a loyalty standard out of
of
it.
it. Yeah. Yeah. So took the MetaPlex standard and its plugins, configure an automated system with it, and actually now created a unique loyalty standard, which is now a Verxio protocol.
Yeah.
Now, lovely. I understand it perfectly, sir. So, the next question I will be asking will be, what partnerships or integration? We already know one already. What partnerships or integrations have been the most valuable for your user adoption, and who are the key strategic partners essential to your business model right now?
I think the partners, I would say, not okay, patch, but Abuse. Abuse was one of our early adopters.
Okay.
Um, Abuse, Nectify,
Okay.
we
Abuse.
have um, we have Rumbus, we have um, Cow, we have I can't really remember their names now. We have we have Stride Pass for travels. We have I always have difficulty pronouncing their name, but they are like gaming projects.
Okay. Is it Jaja?
No, it's not actually a Nigerian product.
Okay. So
So
what
I
about
think
okay?
Cow and Oats, they are not Nigerian products.
Okay. Ah, Rumbles are not Nigerian product.
No.
Okay. So that means these are the integration partners that have integrated your product to allow you to reach wider user base. Meta actually your infrastructure partner, right? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, next question will be how do you okay?
We also have another partner which is still going to be announced, but quickly I'm going to give you a stable coin issuer, one of the biggest. I'm not going to say more than that.
I have enough information to know who they are. So thank you very much for giving us the alpha. So how do you price your product or structure fees for target market? Walk me through the
Sorry?
walk through how to make money. Like how do you price your product or structure your fees? Now it's like just walk through on
So we are
how do you charge people? Like is it a
so we are
subscription? What's this model for revenue for the product?
so we actually integrated at the fee layer of the protocol. So for every transaction, so we basically charge you when you execute transactions within the Verxio protocol.
So okay. So now most of these products that are available now are actually going to be interacting with this protocol continuously. And most of their users do not need to pay for transaction fees. So how do you make an infrastructure that accommodates this your fee structure for them? Or is it already invisibly made in that system? Maybe like a paymaster or something to make it easy. You remember we talked about making it too web
I
two,
would,
web 3-ish.
yeah. The issue is that I have these conversations with the founders,
Okay.
which they have the approach to which they're doing it,
Okay.
which I'm not going to discuss. It's at their liberty how to use a product.
So in essence, you are saying that each founder comes with his own unique structure, but at the end of the day,
So
the founder
I have this conversation with them. Do you understand? Like
okay.
who pays for the transaction fee, and probably I give them insight. Okay, this is how you handle it. This is how you do it. So it doesn't reflect bad on your business. So they have how they basically handle it, and so far nobody is complaining.
Mm, definitely, it's a protocol. Definitely, protocols core a core infrastructure or a core protocol, even in Web 2. The main way they earn money is fees. So yeah, definitely everybody that's going to be integrating has to be aware that you guys have to make revenue also as well. Yeah, I think that's
So
enough point.
let me give you this instance. So let's say I'm an e-commerce website,
Okay.
right? I probably integrated Verxio for loyalty, right?
Okay.
So and probably they're making other payments. So it doesn't make sense for me as an e-commerce owner to charge to probably when they buy stuff and I'm put another transaction for them to pay for transaction another transaction fee for them to accept the payment. It doesn't make sense. It's not a good user experience. But what I can do, which is what most of them, what I can do is if they are buying a product, the fees they are paying in the transaction fee, which is cents,
Hmm.
sometimes 20 cents, 30 cents, I can factor that buying and make everything a single transaction. So once they pay for the product,
They are paying everything at
they don't have
once.
to do that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that is a hello. Can you hear me?
You get?
I didn't get you.
Yeah, I can hear. I think that basically works,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, can go on.
So the next question I want to ask now is going to be what constraints, regulatory, financial, technical, that shape your product decision? What are the biggest operational costs and challenges that you had to go through to actually come with this current product fit you have now? So, what are the constraints you face, regulatory wise, financial wise, technically wise, in terms of how you manage operational costs or general economic or financial challenges that you faced while you building the product? How did you handle
I
them?
think I'm good.
Eh?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
so. So one thing you have to understand is number one is there is no regulation because I'm not bidding for a defined locality, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So number two, so one thing you have to understand when you understand what you have, start from what you had and start building.
Okay.
So that is basically what I did. So when we started, I didn't have to. I didn't do a lot of things at the same time, so we don't struggle. So we struggle. So I took it bit by bit.
So more of like focus on the current one vertical at a time.
Yeah,
So that you could more that means you guys were running slim. That's what you mean now.
you have to run slim if you're starting a business.
We are trying to. I'm trying to make them understand how you succeeded in passing through those
So,
barriers.
so, so basically, you have to start with what you have because what you have is plenty. That is my own idiom, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, so, once you understand what you want to do, start big chunk of it first.
Okay, okay,
The more, the more you capture that monopoly in that particular small section,
okay,
you can now start expanding. And the more you expand, the more the resources for expansion gradually comes,
okay.
right? I don't start and say I'm hiring two designers, two front end, two back end because it's not productive.
I agree with you. It's not productive. I agree
As a
100%.
matter of fact, if you can't ship your MVP in 48 hours, that's not an MVP.
Most people want to chip the MVP like that though. Fucking, you get the normal gist now. But
The goal of MVP is to show what works, not how fine it is.
most people don't really understand that. The
That's it. Once you defy this thinking, so it's a process. Once you defy this thinking, you will struggle. That's why you run into those limitations you're talking about.
yeah, when you want to be a lot at once, and you want to like make sure that it's fine. You want to be at the hype everything. It makes you struggle financially in doing business and a lot. Basically, for us, the way we do it is that we do not actually we set a goal and we try to focus at one vertical as possible. So yeah, it's the way. Otherwise, you have problem and you'll not be able to manage the
So look
business
at what
properly.
our technical advisor, B-man. So this is what he taught me in the early day.
Okay.
I'm echoing.
Yeah, I'm not hearing you actually. Can I hear you now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So what I'm saying is, what he taught me was you have to do it.
Okay.
The first step was for you to make work, then make it right.
But can you come back again? I didn't hear what you said first. I think you didn't get it from camera.
Make it work. Make it right.
Okay. Make it work, make it right,
Then make it fast.
make it fast. Okay.
So once you so this make you have to let you be working.
Okay, fine. Okay.
They will now come back to make it right, make it better, make it look better
Okay.
before you can now make you can now optimize.
So make it
You
work.
call this process.
So the thing is, make it work. Make it work. Like let it be something that's going to be a working product. Then make it right. Like
Yeah,
make it very, very, very good in terms of it services the
yeah,
user properly. Then you make it fast, right? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think I think you guys need to learn from this. So the next question would be okay. I don't know whether you want to answer this question. So what are the most critical activities your team do, probably daily or weekly, for the business to function? Like, what do you guys do normally in a week? Like, what do you guys set up to do in a week? Like, this is the thing that we do this week, and how do we guys do it such that you keep the business working, moving? What is the key things you do in a week?
I think the key thing is listen for feedback.
Okay,
That's the majority.
it be
You understand?
okay. You guys listen. Can you hear me? Can you get me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So, you guys listening for feedback weekly
Yeah, more.
because the protocol is already set already. So you guys are always looking for feedback so that you guys can reiterate on the services that you're offering.
Yes, that's basically what. But internally, we also want to make. How do we make this better? What can we spin out of?
Okay, so how do you guys make it better? What activity or what particular function can you remove to make it more fast, better than it was before? Is that it?
Yeah,
Okay. So okay, how do you balance your security with usability? Like how do you make sure that the security of the protocol is still there? How do you optimize it for security? At the same time, when you're optimizing this security, it's not so complex that it does not become inusable or unusable. So how do you optimize for both security and usability?
I think everything is designed
Okay.
both from the design from the architecture. The security is was placed in it.
Okay. Okay.
Do you understand?
So security
So the whole
was
goal of
okay.
is for you to be used. We try as much as possible to expose any information that will lead to the security is designed.
So you're saying the security was designed in such a way that no data or information can be breached while people use the
Yeah,
product. Yeah. Okay. So um okay. So um what uses pattern surprise you about the people who use your product? So what are the usage pattern you've noticed that most people don't want to use your product more about than what you actually thought that they will actually use it for since you started Verxio?
I think as build the infrastructure for what they want.
Okay, so that's okay. So you build an infrastructure and products actually end up using it for what they want. So what would you tell a Silicon Valley founder trying to build a similar product in Nigeria? Like, and what do you think? What would the advice you would give the Silicon Valley founder? And would you think that they will get wrong about this market?
It depends on what the second founder is trying to build.
Okay.
We are all founders. There's no story between Silicon founder, Silicon Nigeria.
Okay. So there's no difference between them and here. They're all doing the same thing.
If you consider yourself a global founder that solves real problems,
Okay.
not disparate. Just like different location, you deserve to be in every room
Okay.
yourself. Value as a hard and
Okay. So can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So what's one design decision you made that made you think Web3 product copy? Like, what's one design decision you've made that you think every Web3 product should copy? And how do you balance local optimization with global um, ambition? So, what do you think? What one design decision you've made to balance local optimization with global optimization, with global ambition? And how do you think that this particular thing that you are doing now, how do you think that Web3, other Web3 products, whether in Nigeria or not in Nigeria, should actually do this? Why do you think that? Like, give us a reason.
Me, I'm not building for a local.
Okay, that's true.
That's a, so I'm not building like the goal is to build everybody irrespective of their location.
Okay,
So that is the goal. That is the vision. Everything around it.
okay. So I think that I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. That's cool. So we are like in the last questions. So just remaining four more questions and we are gone. So what's the biggest misconception global Web3 builders have about African users? And how do constraints lead to smarter product fit? So what do you think is the biggest misconception that most Web3 products like globally have about African users? And how do you think these constraints would lead to a smarter product market fit for you?
I don't really know because I don't really in aspect.
Okay, so we could skip to the next question, right?
I try to narrow my focus. You know, but one thing I always say is before you go a particular location, you
Okay,
have to you have to communicate in a way to understand.
that's true. That's true. That's true. So we should communicate in the Nigerian language.
I don't
Okay.
think there's a lag.
Yeah, I think
I'm echoing seriously.
that even at my end, like we know. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you properly, but I'm echoing like that's a minute.
Like it's lagging on my probably could be my network actually. I don't know. But we're almost done, literally. Okay, so can you hear me?
can hear you.
Where do you see your product in years? And what behavior or use cases are you trying to unlock in that 2 years time?
So, where do I see Verxio in 2 years? Verxio is going to be at the heart of. That's basically what is going to be happening. It's already happening.
Okay.
Will be the loyalty standard for.
So is
We also expressions like that.
okay, but can you come again? I didn't quite get what you said. You said this is going to be the heart of loyalty for Web 2 or Web 3. Come again?
I said Verxio is going to be
Okay, this is to be the heart of native loyalty for communities.
on Solana.
Okay, on Solana. Yeah. I think that's it. I think Verxio is going to be more of like a product that will allow most people to be able to create own loyalties and actually be able to properly reward actual users than what we have now. Most of the systems we have now are not actually feasible for the kind of loyalty that we want in Web 3 and even Web 2. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So if you could redesign the global DeFi ecosystem from scratch, what would you do different based on your local experience? Like what
I don't really. I,
you said?
I don't really play in the depth. I don't think I have the human to redesign the.
So it's okay. It's okay if you don't really play with the DeFi stuff. You don't really fuck with it. Let's just leave that one. That one does not relate to what you guys are doing. So can you okay? No need for this question. I wanted to say, can you walk me through like a live show? I mean, a user flow. So let's just talk about it. So what metrics?
Sorry?
What metrics right now demonstrates that your product is gaining product market fit? So, like how many transactions or value processed, or how many integrations you guys have made currently? So, like, give us numbers so that we can be able to like use them to communicate.
I don't think I have the. Last time I checked, I think of project
12 product.
as over and over 25 customers that interacted through them. I think the
So, 12 products, 25,000 users. Is that what, is that what you mean?
sorry.
12. You say you've 12 products have integrated with Verxio, right? About
Yeah,
12. Then the numbers for users that have used that has created loyalty passes, they are like how many?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah,
I said the numbers for people that have created loyalty passes from these 12 or like more over 12 products, 12 projects that have integrated is like how many loyalty passes have we gotten so far?
I didn't feel like the amount of interacted with the in this 12 pro is 500.
Okay, so we've had 500 users interact with the protocol so far.
2,500 users interact.
Okay, 2.5K, guys. So Verxio has had over 12 products interacting with their protocol, and they've had 2,500 users interact with Verxio so far. Sir, Donatus, has been a very awesome conversation to have with you today. I appreciate having you here. It's been very, very, very awesome, I would say. Thank you very much. And it's a pleasure having you. And I'm
Thanks,
I'm
man.
very certain that this conversation we've had now, a lot of people will have a lot of insight in terms of how the whole thing works, and from your idea and your understanding from Verxio. Thank you very much, and I hope to do this with you next time. And have a great day, man. Have a great day.
All right.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. So I'm Marvin, and we're out. Thank you very much. And next time we'll do another with another founder. Thank you.